Hello and welcome in today's exciting episode. I make not one but two dresses. One is linen and one is quilting cotton. And yes, believe it or not, these are part of the Desperately Seeking Susan inspired wardrobe. So there were flowers in a kitchen scene.
It's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Perfect jacket.
If you're rolling your eyes about the tenuous link to Desperately Seeking Susan, just know that so am I. So after I did the last video, I had this pile of stuff. So I have to put all of that away. So some of it is Desperately Seeking Susan stuff. Other things, I got them out, but I didn't actually put them in the video. So, and I was thinking this yellow one, it was another of the yellow flowers. Maybe I'll use it as a taxi cab because I quite like the idea of doing taxi cab jackets now. So yeah, maybe if I put black underneath it, because when I bought it, I was like, should I put yellow underneath it or should I put white underneath it? But now I'm thinking black because but it makes it very obvious. Like you can see the repeats of the flowers, and it does make it very obvious that it's machine lace rather than anything more organic. I mean, of course it's machine lace. It's such a big piece. It would be prohibitively expensive if it was not. But yeah, I still like it. And I've got these black sequins that I could put on it as well as the yellow beads. Interesting. Anyway, so I've reorganized the rack and I've got the volcano one, and then I've got the three that reminds me of the dressing room in Magic Theatre. Oh, I have this green metallic fabric. I could make a jacket out of that. My favorite scenes are the green metallic jacket she wears at the end, the green metallic dress, and the Magic Box Theatre. So anyway, Susan's best friend, or Madonna's best friend, wears that silver and blue dress that I love. But I don't really want a tutu type dress or whatever that is, a short tulle dress. I do want a jacket, a silver sequin jacket with periwinkle beads on it though. That's awesome. And the gold one, it never occurred to me to do that Valentino with the rubies design on it. Very cool. And that's the best friend. She wears the cute and quirky vintage outfits. That's going to be a layer cake dress. And then I've got the yellow taxi cabs, and then the two... Yeah, there's another taxi cab one, and there's one wallpaper. Okay, next time I do this, I'll try and focus on the characters, but, you know, I was just being a little bit random, clearly. Oh, and this is, yeah, my favourite production skill from the show. Oh, and you know the suitcase thing that she has, the bag that she has with the skulls on it? I remember that I bought this Halloween fabric after Halloween, like a couple of months ago. They just reduced and cleared the Halloween fabric. So, and it's got skulls on it. It's also got apricot lilies, like the flowers on the room service tray. So yeah, I thought maybe I could I originally bought it 2 yards because I was going to make a shirt out of it. But I'm really not in the mood to make shirts. So I don't know. It's there. Maybe I'll use it. Maybe I won't. And then those are all jacket fabrics. I really want to make those jackets. Sort of the top one is the one I want to wear most. And then those are the beads for the volcano. And these are the taxi cab beads. So the taxi cab beads have got black tweed. And if I make that up into a jacket, then I can use those ones. And there's also the bag of apricot flowers for the room service jacket. Oh, God, I'm actually going to call it the room service jacket. Ridiculous. Anyway, so those are the ones I kept. I put some away. Like I had a red wool that the cigarette lady, she has that uniform of a red jacket with white front center panels. And that would have been nice to make, but it's too fiddly and it would have taken so much time. And I don't know, I don't want to wear it that much. And you can't do much beading on it either. So I decided not to. Anyway, these are the ones that I'm going to try and get to this month. And first of all, I decided to do something easy because it took me a while to figure out which ones to keep and which ones to pack away again and then put everything away. So I decided I'm going to do the flowers from the kitchen scene. Ridiculous. I know it's ridiculous, but I want these two dresses. They're just so bright and cheerful. So I'm using that McCall's pattern again because it's an awesome pattern. I'm making two of them because one is linen, like it's really heavy, really drapey and floppy, and the other is a quilting cotton. So they're different widths. The quilting cotton is it 45 inches, so 112 centimeters, and the linen is fashion width, so 60 inches. So what I do is I buy 2 yards and then I use half a yard to make the front and the back of the bodice, and then I straighten up the so I made the linen one first because linen is so difficult to sew. I feel like on a sewing machine, because I started sewing by hand sewing, so everything is easier for me by hand, but obviously it takes longer. So yeah, this one would really frustrated me, you can see the weight in it. So I love it because it's so drapey, and it's I'll show you the silhouette in a minute, like the side view, and it's beautiful, but it just hangs beautifully. Yeah, I haven't done the hem. What can I say? I wouldn't have time to do if I did all the hems by hand, and I don't do hems by machine, so I just leave it. I'll get to it eventually. With linen, you really have to hem it before you can wear it, but with cottons, it's usually perfectly fine to wear it once or twice before you have to hem it. So I've hung up the quilting one on the left on the rack it's just longer. But so these are 2 yards, and the quilting one, I think the skirt is 3 yards, and the bodice is another half yard. So yeah, you can see the difference in the quilting cotton is very structured and it sits out and it looks very vintage, whereas this, because it's a vintage floral pattern, see the difference from the side, like the darker one, the taxi cab yellow on the right, is the quilting cotton, and it sort of looks like maternity because it sits so stiffly, whereas the linen just looks absolutely gorgeous. I'm tempted to buy a black linen actually, because I think I've got this dress in a black cotton and it's gorgeous, but it kind of does need a belt or a sash on it, whereas if you made it in linen, it would just be that little bit heavier and drapier. I think it would be absolutely gorgeous. And of course you could do it in a wool, like a really fine suiting wool. That would be gorgeous too. And just a really simple, I've got a thin leather belt in green with a silver buckle on it, and it's got like an alligator print punched into the leather. It sounds hideous, doesn't it? But it would look instead of just wearing all black, it would just be a touch of colour. But anyway, here they are with the sashes on. And so it's really simple. You just cut the front and the back bodice out from like half a yard at the top, and then with the rest of the fabric you just cut it in, like straighten it up, square it up, then fold it over, cut it in two. So you've got one half is the front, one half is the back. If the fabric is directional, like this quilting cotton, then you have to make sure that you put the flowers up the right way, or otherwise the vases will be upside down. And then you just sew them together. And because you cut it like salvage to salvage, you don't have to, there's no raw seams. I mean, you have to hem it. But and then you just sew everything together, pleat it down. And it was really simple to make, and beautiful. When you're making the bodice, it really does turn out better if you stop, you sew a little bit, then you press that step, and then you sew another little bit, and then you press another bit. So that can seem like it takes a long time, but the pressing actually makes it, I don't know, the overall I feel like, yeah, I'm not someone who likes to press, but I feel you do get a better finish on your bodice if you do it. So yeah, now I'm sort of looking at all the other things to do. I've used up all the net that I had cut out, so I have to cut out more of that, which takes forever. I really want to do the floral jacket. I know it's a bit random that it's the room service tray, but I love the apricot iris and those big peony roses. They're so absolutely gorgeous, and I think they'd make a really cool jacket. And I've got some lovely, like really vibrant greenery that would just offset the peaches and the pinks beautifully. And I can't wait to do that. Oh, that's the snakeskin one. That's hilarious. And the other one from the best friend. I kind of want to do them all. I mean, obviously I won't have time, but yeah, I really like them all. I love the idea of doing the gold, like ruby red beads on the gold is really, yeah, grabbed my imagination. I like that idea. And also the gem tones, the gemstones one. Beading is going to be so much fun. But of course I have to make the jackets first, which takes forever. And then beading takes an absolute age. I mean, and you don't get much of a video out of it either. You sort of like, you just have to do the same thing over and over. So you can sort of film one stage and say, well, this is what I did now. And then next I did this, and next I did this. But then, so you can show 1 or 2 beads, and then you have to do another 100 or 200 beads. And then if the next stage is another 200 or 300 beads. So yeah, it's not the most cinematic thing, but I just love a beaded jacket. Just in case you hadn't guessed. So yeah, I still have to do the sleeves of that one, but I think I'll start doing the jacket mock-up project. And because yeah, when you do a jacket mock-up, you're basically just sewing together and then pressing, and that's it. And then you review whether it fits or not, and how what the strengths and the weaknesses are of each jacket pattern. So it takes less time than, because you don't have to do any of the hand finishing that you need to do on an actual jacket, because you're just sort of making a mock-up. It's not slapdash. You have to sew the things together properly, but you're just machine sewing and pressing, because you're just doing it in cotton, not in an expensive fabric. So I think I'll do a few of those, and that way I'll build in some lead time, and I'll actually have time to cut out the netting, hand finish all the jackets, and do the beading. I'm not sure how much beading I'll have time for, but yeah. Anyway, that's the plan, and these are the dresses I made. Linen is definitely more annoying to work with than cotton, but the drape of it is absolutely beautiful. If you're in a hurry, then yeah, maybe save the linen for later. And quilting cotton looks absolutely adorable and so vintage. So there's merits of each. And yeah, I'm glad I made both. So thanks again for watching, and happy sewing.